Hello everyone, it's Jade from Boho Bookworm. How are you all? I hope you're all very well. I am so thankful November is over because NaNoWriMo is finished. I can stop hammering out 1,600 and something words every day and just kind of relax. I was supposed to be going back to work in December after UK lockdown 2.0 ended. However, my pub has decided to keep the doors shut, so I'm gonna have a bit of free time on my hands. That being said, I'm going to be cooking a lot, I'm going to be reading a lot, and I've got some really good books lined up, so I wanted to share them with you today. While I do that, I'm going to be making something. Can you guess what it is from these ingredients? I've got thyme, turmeric, cumin, red lentils, green lentils, garlic, chilli, ginger, cubed sweet potato, turnip, celery, salt, pepper, stock pot, vegetable stock pot, coconut milk, and some lemon. There's also a couple of bits in the fridge that I'll be throwing in this. If you haven't guessed it yet, I am making a lentil soup, like a very detoxifying turmeric lentil soup, which is very good for your skin. I am just gonna pop you there while I chat about what I'm doing and cook. So the first thing I'm doing is I've got some coconut oil in my pot and I'm going to heat that up and then fry some onion. So one of the books that I'm really excited to get to in December is one that's a little bit different for me. I've just kind of decided that I've been reading so many thrillers lately, I just need to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I'm going to be reading Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella. I used to love Sophie Kinsella books. It is, like fluffy romance. And I think maybe I just need a bit of that, especially as we are going towards Christmas and just something a bit different from my dark, gritty thrillers. Alright, so right now I have got my garlic, onion, chilli and ginger busy sauteing in my pot. So I'm going to let this saute for a little bit, then I'm going to add in my celery, turnips and sweet potato. So Love Your Life is a book about this girl called Ava, and she's really sick of, online dating. She just wants to do something a bit different with her life, so she decides to take herself away to this silent writing retreat in Italy, I believe. And it sounds absolutely gorgeous. She gets there, she falls in love with someone, quickly has sex with them. They think they're perfect for each other. Then they re-enter the real world after this retreat, and suddenly, they're irritated by all their little habits and things that make them quirky and who they really are. They discover all this stuff about each other, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't know if we're actually that compatible," and can they find a way to make it work? So I think the sound of that book sounds really good, especially like, me and my boyfriend just moved in together for lockdown. And we're discovering little things about each other too, I guess. I'm sure he is, as I am with him. And you've just got to find ways to make it work. That's what life really is. Celery. Turnip. Sweet potato. So I'm going to cook this for about 5 minutes until it softens a little bit. Then I'll put in some pepper, some salt, a little bit of thyme as well. And while I let this cook, I'm going to stir it occasionally and chat to you about the next book that I'm really excited to get to. Every Last Secret by A.R. Torre. She wrote the Diana Madden series, which I just finished. And I am besotted with this author's writing. This is a book that is getting released in December, so I'm super excited for it. It's a book about this woman called Kat who has worked really hard for the life that she's got. She's got a great social standing, gorgeous home, fabulous handsome husband, blah blah blah. And it didn't come easy for her. She worked really hard for it. Then these new neighbours turn up and move in next door, and obviously, you gotta be cautious, but she opens them with open arms, goes and says hello, and turns out that their neighbour, Nina, and her husband, they don't quite have the same kind of lifestyle as Kat does. They're not very happy. They think that this new house is a step in the right direction for them. However, Nina starts developing this very unhealthy romantic obsession with Kat's husband. And it's very obsessive. She basically wants to take Kat's life, but she's also trying to be Kat's friend. So sounds like a very good thriller, and I am excited for it. I'm gonna wait on the salt, I think, because I do have some vegetable stock which can be quite salty as well. So I'm gonna just put in some black pepper and a teaspoon of thyme. The next book, and I am so excited, this gets released, I believe, on the 1st of December, which is tomorrow while I'm busy filming this. Layla by Colleen Hoover. I am so excited. This is a book that I believe might actually have a bit of a paranormal feel to it, which is very weird, but Colleen Hoover loves experimenting with different genres, and I just think that it's incredible. She's so brave to do that, just dip her toes into all the different genres, YA, contemporary, romance, thriller, all of it. Yeah. So Layla is about this guy called Leeds who meets a girl called Layla. He thinks they're going to be forever together, they're absolutely perfect, and then one day this horrific accident happens which leaves Layla, I believe, in a coma fighting for her life. Eventually she does wake up, but the trauma has really changed her as a person. So Leeds takes her away to this really romantic place where they, I think, had their first date or their first away vacation or something together. But, you know, her behaviour becomes more and more bizarre as time goes on. Anyway, so then Leeds, while they're away, meets this other girl called Willow who he seeks, you know, comfort in and confides in her because he doesn't really know what to do and he feels like he's losing Layla, and I believe that he might be developing feelings towards Willow as well, and it's kind of like a bit of a love triangle. So who knows? I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. Oh, Colleen Hoover is bae. Okay, now you're going to add 2 tablespoons of turmeric, a teaspoon of cumin, your lentils, and then you're going to let that saute for about 2 minutes before you add in some vegetable broth and water. Alrighty. Add in your vegetable broth. Don't worry about that, it'll all just soak up there anyway. Alrighty, now you're gonna let this come to the boil, then reduce the heat, cover and let simmer for about 30 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like so far when I give it a stir. Look at that goodness down there. Don't worry, if it thickens too much, you can add more water. Lastly, a book that I tried to read in November but I just couldn't get into, and give it another go, is The Magpie Society by Zoe Sugg, who is the reason that I started my YouTube channel in the first place. She inspired me so much. It's by her and her friend Amy McCulloch, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that surname. And this is a YA thriller, which is really cool. Like, you know, Zoe Sugg writing a thriller, love it. So The Magpie Society is about this girl from America who has to go to England, this boarding school. She's trying really hard to keep out of drama, but can't quite help herself when this murder happens, and this body is found, and on the girl's back of the victim, she's got like a tattoo of a magpie, and one magpie is the symbolism is one for sorrow. So she moves in with this roommate of hers, and they become friends, and they start investigating this murder together. Sorry, no, they do not become friends. They hate each other, but they are both drawn towards investigating this crime. And yeah, I mean, I did start listening to it on Audible, and I just couldn't quite get into it because the last couple of days my head has not been in the game, but I am getting there slowly. I'm gonna just refresh, revitalize. I'm taking a few days off of drinking. I've been exercising loads. I went for a 21k cycle yesterday. The day before that I did a 3.5 kilometer run, and now I can hardly feel my legs, but I am just happy that I'm getting active. I'm gonna just rehydrate my body, and that's why I'm making this nice detoxing soup, just to get back in tune with myself. So yeah, that's where life is at the minute. Let me know what you're going to be reading this month in the comments down below, and I hope you're all well. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I almost forgot to show you how this is going. It's been cooking for half an hour. Pour in some coconut milk. Throw some coriander in there.